Hey everyone, it's Riley from class. The community I chose to do is the lovely town of Arnprior that I get to live in now, traditional grounds of the Algonquin Nation. My connection to this town, other than living here currently, is my grandparents lived here all growing up, and my grandfather still lives just a few minutes away. So I have a lot of good memories here, spending time outside, fishing, and just spending time with them. Now living here, we get to experience all the history of this town, and the people and the spirit that they have. There's a real passion for the hockey team where season tickets have sold out, and my wife and I have our favorite little pizza spot that we go to possibly far too often. And we're currently working on our dream home, which is a lot of work, and like McMillan and Chavez said, trade and trust is built through the use of power, and the Rona in town here is really the only establishment that can actually provide lumber and building supplies. So it could abuse that power, but it's a family-owned company that's built a really good history of fair trade and still gives much better deals than the bigger stores you'll find in the cities. Now when it comes to spirit, art, and helping others, the cognitive dissonance of Pat Hallett and the emotional safety he's helped provide others has been vital to this community, which is why he's really well known. But I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about that. Pat, I know you've been here a long time and probably know more than anybody about how important music in this community is, and just want to know a little bit more about that.
Well, for me it all started probably 30 years ago, mid-80s, and I was listening to a radio station on the radio, and it was called Shaboom Shaboom. It was actually all French channel, but they were playing all the old rock and roll. And I said to my wife, I said, surely I could get a gang of people together and we could do this old rock and roll and have fun with it, but find it as our way to contribute in the community and raise funds for, local worthwhile causes. And so I called somebody, and they called somebody, and they called somebody, and we ended up with, the basics of a rock and roll thing with drums, saxophone, keyboards, and singers. And I mentioned to my wife, I said this would be a great way to contribute in the community. There's often worthwhile causes. People's houses burn down or get flooded out and need some financial assistance. So it's a great way to contribute and do some so-called barn raising in the community. As I approached and got into retirement, we would often do some of our dues at the senior citizens residence. Sometimes we'd peel it down to a 3-piece or a 2-piece. We even raised funds in CARP for, I think we raised $25,000 one time where we did a big, huge event in the CARP arena. And we were able to put in an elevator in the senior citizen residence nearby. So it's all been good, and it's a good way to fit into my overall retirement and keep rock and roll alive.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks a lot. We're going to have to jam soon.
For sure. You know where I am.
Pat and many others' music can also be enjoyed throughout the park on most weekends. But those seeking more emotional safety is James Hrkach, who has a safe space with empathy and understanding to help with those boundaries and emotional safety and support through the arts.
So I've felt since the beginning, even as a kid, I always enjoyed imparting knowledge to others, sharing my skills. So I think it started very early for me. But I've also always enjoyed teaching beyond the classroom. And so here we are in Main Street School of Music, and I teach here once a week, share my knowledge and skills in music, songwriting. I even teach a little bit of visual art here as well, drawing lessons. So there's sort of a diversity of experience that's possible at this school. Being taught is a vulnerable thing, and so they feel very safe being here, able to make mistakes, even if it takes a while to learn a skill, and you have to really put yourself out there. So there's a real sense of belonging, and we teach from youngest age that can handle a half-hour lesson all the way up to seniors, and the notion that they have this time set apart every week in order to get away from their normal lives. And some of their lives can be quite challenging, but this is a safe space where people are treated with kindness and patience in it may be very difficult for some people to learn these kinds of skills in their home life or amidst their friends, because it's hard to get support sometimes, and life can be pretty miserable. So this is a wonderful opportunity for those students. But they also grow as people, and it affords them a kind of escape from the rest of their lives. So many people are looking for that outlet of expression to try to learn something in a very creative way, and this place gives them that chance. The students here, many of them really stick around for a long time. So yeah, very special place, very family atmosphere, and committed to the skill and knowledge development of these students in the arts.
Thanks a lot for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I really hope that you get to be out and enjoy your community as well. Oh yeah, here are my references. Are we cut? Are we cut? Okay, good.